Hi, my name is Grace, and I came to Dr. Olga because I had a fear of having an MRI. And a doctor had recommended that I had an MRI and a CAT scan, and I was so fearful because I had had one probably about 8 years ago. And I had a panic attack, and the MRI, I was very afraid of going back into a full MRI. And it was enclosed, and I would be panicky, and I could hear noises in my head just pounding, and my heart was racing, and it was so uncomfortable, and it felt like I was in there forever, that I knew I was going to have another one, and I had to go in full containment MRI. I had to be fully enclosed, and I was scared to death. So I came to Dr. Olga to help me with my fear of going into an enclosed MRI. Not only did I have to be in the enclosed MRI, but I had to have a cage put over my head because it was an MRI of my brain and my sinuses. So when I came to Dr. Olga, we worked in one session, and she gave me techniques to use while I was inside the MRI, and we did one session of hypnosis, and she helped me learn how to relax and imagine myself in another place besides the MRI. She put me into a real happy place in my mind, and also hypnotized me so that the time in the MRI would feel like 5 minutes instead of 1 hour, which I knew I probably had to be in there for. So after the session, I had the MRI about a week later, and it was amazing. Everything she said to me prior to my MRI, she walked me through a scenario of going to the office. When I was in the office, I would see the people there in their outfits. It would not bother me. It would be like I was going for a spa treatment. I was going to be very relaxed. When I got into the full containment of the MRI, the enclosure, I would feel like it was 5 minutes. So the day of my procedure, I went in. I was very relaxed. I kind of just put myself into a relaxed state, which was easy to do. They called me in. I went into the MRI. They actually bundled me up like a papoose, which was like something I wasn't expecting, but I was just pretended in my mind that I was in a spa treatment, so this was part of the treatment. And they sat me in there, and they put me into the tunnel. They had put a square cage over my face because it shows the lines on the MRI, like where my problem was in my head. And I was totally relaxed. I was in there. She kept asking me how I was doing. I was perfectly fine. They did have to pull me back out one time for an injection, which was no problem. Put me back in. And when I was done, it did feel like it was 5 minutes. And I asked them how long I had been in there. They told me it was 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I was so amazed. I felt good. I didn't have 1 ounce of anxiety, no panic attack, no feelings of claustrophobic, and I was so amazed because I had worried about that prior to having this test on myself. So I left there feeling great and refreshed, and I really truly recommend hypnosis for anybody who might be a little skeptical, because people in my family, when I told them originally I was going for hypnosis, they're like, oh, what are they going to do to you? Are you going to know what you're doing? And Dr. Olga made me very confident, and I was confident in her, and I felt very secure in my session. It wasn't like I had an out-of-body experience. I was here. I knew exactly what we've talked about because I have had other sessions with her since then for other things, but I know exactly what I talk about every time I come. I do feel that it works for me, and it has continued to make my life a lot better. I would recommend this to anybody, and not to be afraid of being hypnotized, because it is something that you can do yourself. It is something, once you learn the technique, that you can relax yourself in situations and put yourself, it's a matter of your mind and the control in your mind, and it's all about what you want, not what someone else wants. It's what you want for yourself, and I recommend it to anybody. So that's my story, and I will continue to see Dr. Olga Stevko.